Good morning, Myles.
Morning.
Hey, it's been kind of a topsy-turvy season for you guys as far as like all the stuff happening with injuries and COVID and the plane and all that stuff. What's been kind of the craziest moment for you? What would you say was there a time where you said, wow, like all this stuff, like I never expected to have to go through all this stuff?
For me personally, I think mostly like kind of the world events that's going on is the craziest part. It's like, I would never expected none of that to happen, everything going on in Ukraine and everything. So for me, that was really crazy, a very unexpected moment. Like in basketball, injuries do happen, and it's been COVID for a minute. So those are kind of like things that we're kind of been dealing with. But kind of the whole world events thing, I think, is the most crazy event going on right now.
How would you say that Coach Cronin has kind of shepherded you guys through this stretch of things you've had to deal with to kind of get the best out of you?
Coach Cronin definitely kind of keeps us on course. He tells us that things happen. You got to play through it. Always be ready for the next person has to step up. And basically, when one of your brothers go down, you always fight a little bit harder for him. And throughout all these games, it feels like we either had someone out or something like that. And, you got to push for that one player and get the outcome of the game. And, after that, you go and tell them that we won, and then they're happy. And they come to practice the next day, and then they do their best to get back for the next game. So it's kind of just a keep going forward mentality.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Mike Regalado from Bruin Report.
Hey, Myles, you guys had an unprecedented schedule where a lot of it was backloaded. Do you think that helped prepare you for the postseason?
Definitely. They were kind of like rapid fire games. It's what's going to be coming up with both the Pac-12 Tournament and March Madness. So in a sense, I guess that does help us prepare that, you're going to have not a lot of prep time. You're going to have to play a game. The next day, you're going to have to get quick recovery, get your body right in a short window and stuff like that. So I think that does prep us enough for the upcoming events. And but it was a lot. It definitely was a lot to have all those games in a short span. But we got through it. And now going forward, we just got to prepare for these upcoming tournaments.
And just really quickly, Coach talked about mental health. How important was it to have 5 days off last week and 5 days off before your first Pac-12 game?
That's definitely big in a mental standpoint and physical standpoint. I took a lot of that time to do a lot of rehab and recovery and pretty much getting your body right for the upcoming games. And just using that time wisely is always really smart to catch up with school, catch up with anything you really need to, because there's not a lot of free time throughout the season. So whenever you get it, you got to treat it like really preciously.
All right, let's go to one last question here from John Kristen, Daily Broad.
Hey, Myles. I know you've only been here 1 year, but how much of an impact has Coach Savino had in your development in this 1 year?
Oh, Coach Savino has been huge for me. Definitely helped me out with all my low post stuff and moving around the ball. He helped me a lot with my rebounding. I remember I was struggling a bit early in the season, and he helped me without film. They're showing me sometimes my feet are in the arc and it's kind of hard to rebound when you're that close to the basket. So helped me wedge and get a better position for offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, stuff like that. So he's been a big help for sure.
Thanks.
Good morning, Jules.
How's it going?
Hey, you guys have had kind of a wacky season with all the injuries, COVID, and the plane, and Johnny falling off a scooter. What's been kind of the biggest disruption for you, and how have you kind of pushed through it?
Just natural thing like injuries, or maybe not injuries, but just the general aches and pains and bruises of going through a full season. That's about it. Obviously, we've had some bumps in the road where people have been out for longer than expected or longer than we want. But our team is next guy up, comes and performs. So we've done a good job of that and sort of sustaining and maintaining our energy throughout the season as people have been banged up. So I feel like we've done a good job, and thankfully we're all ready for the Pac-12 tournament. So.
And then one other quick thing, if I could, you've played for Coach Cronin for 3 years now. What is it about him that's allowed you guys to play your best basketball this time of year? Because we've seen it in the first 2 seasons. You guys were one of the hottest teams in the country before COVID shut everything down. And then last year, obviously getting to the Final Four.
Well, he's a coach that has a complete passion for the game and fire for the game, and he wants to win, And when you have a coach who has that type of fire and drive, it rubs off on his team for sure. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people have seen that come to fruition, you know, throughout the years. So I think it's just a testament to how much he cares and the passion he has for not only, you know, winning, but for his team. So.
All right, let's go to Mike Regalado from Bruin Park.
Hey, Jules, you just walked on senior night. And, you know, as Ben said, you know, you guys usually get hot around this time. You know, how's your personal state of mind knowing that you did just walk on senior night and now you have one more postseason to go? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. You know, I've been in senior nights before, obviously in high school. But, you know, I'm excited for the postseason, to be honest. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunity, and, you know, we want to do great things. So if we want to do what we set out to do from the beginning of the season and you know, sort of keep playing in the postseason, then I know there's going to be a lot of basketball to play. So I'm just definitely excited and ready to get started. So.